Hey man, thanks for letting me live here, considering my house is haunted
I think it's
with
kind
a
of.
serial killer.
I mean, I'm happy to have you. I'm just kind of. I think it's kind of like. I don't know why you just left Elizabeth over there by herself.
She can fend for herself, she's fine.
I mean, she works nights, so
Yeah. And as we all know, serial killers never come out at night.
That's true. Serial killers never do come out at night.
So, are you ready to talk about Army of the Dead?
Yeah, let's talk about Army of the Dead. You know what all these skeletons and, undead and treasure make me think of?
What?
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, no, it's not Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's
Or in any way good.
yeah, no, that's accurate. It's not in any way good.
But we're over at David's. David has puppies, so we may hear puppies.
Occasionally, we're trying to keep them quiet.
Yep. But Army of the Dead. Shall we start?
Yeah, let's start with Army of the Dead.
Okay, so it starts in 1590 with Coronado.
When Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
1492, 1590.
Okay.
I think. Let's see. What's back on
It starts
1590. Ha!
Yeah, it starts late 1590. I think. Pretty sure
Coronado
it's
comes over and kills out all the Anasazi in Central America.
Of course.
Keep
going.
My geography teacher may have been a little wrong, or this movie may be wrong. I'm not quite sure.
You just keep explaining plot. My history minor will come out in a second and start screaming.
Wipes out the Anasazi, but he then all of a sudden an army of skeletons appear and wipe out everyone, and it's just this. Apparently, every time this city of gold that is not Tenoctitlan shows up, anyone who finds it gets immediately killed by skeletons because they're greedy and they deserve to die. So then we jump into the present day where a professor and a group of people who I do not know, and we never really get to know, they're just to die, shows up at this this location that looks like Nevada, but we found out afterwards was Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
But hey, they look fairly similar.
Yeah.
I've been to Albuquerque. Good city.
Yeah. I like Albuquerque.
So they are doing their little adventure out in the desert, and a different professor than the main character professor has a map looking for the City of Gold, and they find it, and an army of skeletons starts killing everyone.
Everyone and everything. Yep. Yeah, keep going.
That's the entirety of the plot.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, you're right. Minus some how we're gonna get out of this problem stuff.
Yeah, without going into every single minute detail of this movie, like we've done with some other movies. But that's
some rough plot in this one.
We watched this one just a little bit ago. I cannot tell you a whole lot of specific things in this movie.
Yeah, we definitely took some time out between watching the film and recording this review today.
Yes.
Yeah, there was definitely a space of time.
But it wasn't that long.
No, it wasn't that long. No, it's less than 24 hours, that was for sure. But I mean, the problem with... Okay, so I'm going to start here. This movie is not as bad as we anticipated it being.
No.
Yeah, no, this movie's not. It's not.
Well, yes and no.
It's cheesy bad.
This is the kind of bad I was hoping some of our other movies would be.
Yeah.
Because this is a good B movie. Like, it has a real low score on IMDb. It's like 2.9.
Yeah.
But it's, like, and I'd say that's pretty fair for this movie.
What it is, it's like a bad sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's a Sci-Fi Channel original kind of film. It's not. It's not.
Not. But it's shot on about at that quality of what a poor one is shot at. You know, that's where we're sitting at with it. It's I was going to say that like this film, like I said, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be because like there is some competent storytelling happening in here. Not extremely competent, not genius levels, but like it's competent and they understand like basic motivation principles and things like that. There's some stuff in there that like could be done without that doesn't help the story at all. And a lot of that stuff I think is what you were shaking your head no at first, but like that's where as far as the overarching story, they have an understanding of the overarching story.
They have the idea, they have the knowledge of, okay, so we're at this moment in the thing. Now we need to increase the tension and we need to like raise the stakes the next element.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at this point in the movie. It's time to start killing people, and so we're gonna have this mass slaughter, so that way everyone's kind of wiped out, except for the group of people that's gonna take us to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So we have that, and it's just we have a steady rising action, and the falling. It is a basic plot.
Basic cut and dry, yeah.
Plot. Which is better than some other movies we've watched this
Absolutely. Year. There's been some that just have like no plot and no character development.
Looking at you, him.
Plot structure. Anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this definitely follows, you know, the Aristotelian model.
Yeah.
And like that's all like most everyone, if you know, exactly what Cory just described is essentially the Aristotelian model.
You have the inciting incident that races you through the rising action, then you hit the climax, then the falling
You're gonna
action.
pull a graphic up on this, aren't you?
Sure.
We have a teacher right now probably just like watching this and going, why? They're whining so hard right now. Anyway, it follows the basic model of plot structure. It has an understanding of plot structure and how that works. Okay. The actors are using that, you know.
We say that it has the basic idea of plot structure because it's one of the few compliments that we can give this movie.
Yeah, no, outside of that, like...
They have plot structure, but the plot they follow on that is not great. The rising action is things like the generic trope of, I caught you in a tent with this other woman. You're cheating on me. How dare you?
Nothing happened. I swear to God.
I knew I'd be trusted.
Nothing happened. She snuck in the tent. She was under the sleeping bag. I thought it was you.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So yeah, no, you're 100% right with that one. It's a generic trope and like everything else. But like, yeah, all these little sidebar moments are some of the things that don't play really well into the film.
No, they don't.
Yeah, that's one of them. And then there's the whole casting issue.
Are you talking about our...
Dave the Accountant?
Dave the Accountant as our mercenary?
As our mercenary, for instance?
We have no idea who this guy is, but...
Yeah.
There's a mercenary in the film who looks like an accountant.
Exactly like an accountant. Like,
it's like if I was playing a mercenary. I am not a mercenary.
Yeah, no, it's very, very odd. But yeah, no, there's these little things these little idiosyncrasies throughout the film that we're going to happily pick apart here over probably the next couple of minutes to where we can... the issues with this film that keep it from going to the next level kind of thing. Yeah. So I think first we just need to establish like where would we tell people that this film is actually at? Like out of a 5-star review, where is it actually at?
1.5 to 1.
I was gonna go 1.5 is where I was gonna go with this because like there is a story, there's things happening. The acting's not good, but what makes the difference between this and getting it to like that 2-star rating? You know, That's what we're going to talk about.
Great story, Professor.
You don't expect us to believe it, do you?
So let's talk about acting first. Like that, I feel like that's the one thing that has to be talked about.
Okay. For the most part, I'll say the acting in this is not the worst that I have seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I've been to a lot of community theater. I've acted in community theater.
We both have acted in community theater. That's 100% true.
But this is not the worst acting I've seen in my life. It's by far no means the best. Like, when we started watching this, like, we've said in an earlier review for this year, we watched about 5 minutes of each movie that we were considering to try and figure out what we wanted to watch this year.
Yeah.
And this is one that we were like, yes, because it starts off with the CGI skeletons, ghosts, like shadows.
Yeah, the ghost shadows things.
Killing people. Which is hilarious. And then we immediately go into some kind of hokey B-movie acting, which is... It's a fun little transition.
Yeah, of course.
Are you gonna tell me where we're going?
Where's the fun in that?
Fine, I don't even want to know.
Good, because I'm not gonna tell you.
Good, fine.
It's generic, but yeah, and that's the beginning of the film, which, like, this is supposed to be very effects-based, is where the sci-fi comes in.
It is. The director of this movie is a visual effects producer, and he did Black Hawk Down, The Siege, and Men in Black. So this is from a guy who knows special effects.
Yeah.
And does special effects well.
Yeah. But I don't think he had any kind of budget or anything to actually work with to make good special effects. However, there's nothing
bad in this.
Yeah, it's
kind of bad.
It's bad, but it's not good. It's
not
good, but it's not horrible, but it's bad, and it's not bad. It's like cheap.
It's cheap. We've seen bad special effects.
I've seen bad special effects. Yeah,
this is a step above, say, Birdemic, where it's just the CGI.
Birdemic is terrible.
Flying like this.
Straight up, like...
This is...
Craig Kimball style pitching. Yeah.
This is a step up of that, because this is... They have, like, one or two skeleton models. One being completely covered in blood. And one being just a regular skeleton.
Dry bone skeleton, yeah.
And there's no differentiation between, like, who's what on the skeleton side. Like, they have, like, a main bad skeleton who looks the same as every other skeleton.
Hey, Gamma! Show yourself!
Right, and yeah, 100%. Like, and yeah, that generic look happens over and over
again. They use those two models to their advantage because it's an army of the dead. They use that one model for everyone, and they'll have like 100 of these skeletons on screen, and then blow them all up, which is fine.
It works. I mean, yeah.
Like, it's kind of cheap.
That's the
blow-ups.
It's very, very cheap. It's the cheapest way that they could possibly get this done.
Yes. Like, the models themselves, they don't look bad. Like, the model that's on the box is the model
for the movie, yeah.
And I'm sure
hell, that's a compliment in itself, you know, just like with some of the things that we've watched.
Like, take a look at the box art for him, and then look at the clown from him.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm picking on him a lot, but we watched it this year.
It was the worst movie we watched this year. Yeah.
And there's a comparison that we can make, because it's something we've watched this year. What you see on the box is what you get.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, this is the best movie poster we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, for any of these films. Like, this is it, because, like, this is, you have your characters, you have, like, the plot, you see, like, the...
Yeah, you have the floating heads, but it's fine.
Yeah, like, this is the movie, and yeah, it's at least competent enough to show you what it's got. And that's exactly what the CGI skeletons are. As far as the acting goes, like, I feel like generic Chris Pine was kind of like a flat actor. Ross Kelly, I believe was his name.
Ross Kelly, yes.
Yeah, Ross Kelly.
Is playing the main professor dude.
The main professor dude who's on vacation with his wife. Yeah, wife. I was kind of unsure on that at the beginning. I think they're like recently married is kind of like the idea there, but
I assume so. But at the same time, they talked about he's already cheated on her once before with this one person.
Yeah,
and who's also on this trip with them because reasons.
Why not?
It's one of those things of I have no idea what the reason for this trip is. And who they invited, or if people were invited on this trip.
Okay, so I caught that. I caught some of that. That was because once again, this is one of those issues with their acting that they're making nothing important besides apparently the main plot, which I have to give them to them because they did emphasize the main plot. It's not great acting, but they understand the moment.
Well, it's also the director kind of takes.
The director's making the shape happen.
Yeah, he takes it and goes okay, we're gonna look at the map and we're going to talk about the map now, and we're gonna go and tell the story of what happens when you go to this cave. Yeah, it's fine. We understand the main point, main plot. Everything else is just muddled.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
You're gonna explain the trip.
The trip. Okay, so what happens with the trip, if I remember correctly, is that they're going because it's spring break or something like that, and they're all professors at this one university, John and the other professor who causes all this problem, and because I remember they're wanting to go on this dirt road.
Dirt riding.
Yeah.
Dirt
and the older professor's oh, you're too young to be spending time by the poolside on spring break, I think is what he says or something. He says something to that nature. Mm-hmm. And it's to that regard, and that's what sets it up. It's supposed
also
to be
at the very in the first scene, it kind of sets up that this is something that he's the main character is wanting to do for a long time.
This is his hobby, or this is not his hobby, but this is something his thing. He thinks this is cool. Which is awesome because that's what it would be a great. It's a pretty good setup as far as that goes. That's a decent setup and that's a decent piece of writing. It's hey honey, what's the one thing you've always wanted to do? Oh, I've always wanted to go desert car racing or something like that. Which isn't a bad setup to get them in this place because because the main professor's tricking them to come to here, so that
way he can try and get their help in finding this lost city of gold.
This lost city of gold, yeah, that's the goal here, which is a pretty interesting setup, and it's not bad. It's that's a little bit of competent writing, but as far as they're acting with each other, for instance, the whole cheating scene is so flat. You have what was her name, Stephanie Marchi, yeah. The female actor, I can't pronounce her last name, but yeah, it's
playing the professor's wife.
Playing the professor's wife, when they have that cheating scene in the tent, it's just the classic "women ain't got no logic in this situation" trope.
I don't care what she wants. I love you.
You can love me from a distance. First thing tomorrow, I'm leaving.
This is one of those classic Hollywood tropes that just needs to die because it doesn't make any sense because the logic in the characters are flawed unless you establish a strong reason for them to go off a purely emotional state in that moment.
Jenny, what are you doing here?
Giving you your birthday.
Well, I don't want it.
Come on. You used to be fun.
Well, I guess I'm not anymore. I want you to put your clothes on.
Sorry that
Where
I wanted
are your
this
clothes?
Yeah, if you don't establish that, there's no reason for that emotional reaction because there are logical reasons that they were setting up for her to believe him over her.
Yes.
And their motivations and their setup.
The one thing I will say for the wife, she did establish that he has cheated on her before with this woman. I get it. I understand the mindset that she's in. However, as an audience member, you see what honestly happened. He just goes into a tent, she's underneath the blanket, she's hidden herself. Like, he gets into bed, and he's just talking to her, lays down, she climbs on top of him, and he goes, oh my god, get out.
Yeah,
he immediately starts, like, exiting the tent, then she walks in.
Yeah.
As an audience member, you see what's happened, and so you automatically side with him. As a person who, she's been wronged by him before, I understand her reasoning behind everything. However, this is just a trope that I want to die. I am sick and tired of seeing you cheated on me. No, I didn't. This is a crazy person in my bed with me.
Yeah, no, 200%. Yeah, no, it's
been done 1,000 times. I get that it raises the stakes of this emotional character's journey. However, this is a movie about an army of the dead. I don't need a cheating husband in this.
Yeah, no, unless you're going to figure out a way to do some good script writing and make that work, this movie is cut and dry.
This is not The Walking Dead.
100. Yeah, this is not Walking Dead. It was made well before Walking Dead even came out too, if I remember right.
2008.
2008. So yeah, even if Walking Dead is out, I can't remember because I'm not a
Walking Dead came out 2010, 2011.
Okay, so yeah, it came out before Walking Dead.
We're in season 8 now, so.
Okay, yeah, so it came out before Walking Dead, and so clearly this should not be as. This should not be setting up that type of situation, influence-wise.
Mm-hmm.
This is just bad writing.
Yeah.
It's just bad writing. It's that's all there is to it.
It's generic trope for generic trope's sake.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk a little bit about some of the let's talk about the professor just a little bit.
The main character or the other professor?
The other professor.
Okay.
How his character is just kind of he goes crazy after they find the lost city of gold.
Yeah, he looks like the captain from Tintin, but he
everyone in this movie, by the way,
everyone looks like somebody else.
It's really funny.
So in this movie we have Chris Pine meets Ryan Reynolds as our main character.
Yep.
We have who was it? The random background guy. Old guy looks like David Cameron.
Yeah, the professor's just kind of he's kind of a mess because he starts out really bland.
Yeah.
His acting is bland, his acting is generic.
I am here, and I am here to expel the plot. Here, there's a mountain of gold somewhere in the form of a city. City gold.
City gold is around here somewhere. Yeah, no, he tells this story about someone getting murdered after they found a coin because of course the spirits of Dagama's army of the dead kill anyone who comes across this gold because of greed.
It was Dagama, but Coronado is the one who won. This movie that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a really bad part in there. But anyway, so they that happens, and I guess I don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to try to explain it. So the professor's in there, and then the professor finds the gold with these mercenaries, and then the professor,
after blowing up the side of the mountain, Zelda style,
just kind of chooses to stay in the hole there of the army of the dead. Yeah, because the one dude escapes.
Well, he kind of becomes possessed in a way because he has the glowing red eyes.
He's going crazy. Yeah, he's losing his mind. It's really bad.
It's kind of the question is he possessed or is he just crazy with glowing red eyes now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of an odd possession kind of thing because I think it's kind of just a.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, there's nothing
he's just there going, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die.
And then yeah, we get it, you're all gonna die. Cool. Yeah, it's a hot mess as far as that goes. He's he's probably my least favorite character in this entire thing, and that's over some of the great acting of the moment where the boy and the girl get smashed with the rock.
I can't die like this. Helpless. I'm so old. I'm not gonna die like this.
We're not gonna die like this.
We're not gonna.
Boom. Which was awful, but like I wish I was laughing in that moment because I was just like, yeah.
That's kind of this whole movie is like when we started, we were just kind of riffing it and having some fun with it.
By the end of it, we just wanted it to kind of be over with.
Yeah,
we were just like get done.
It's not a good B movie. It's totally a B movie though.
Yeah,
because this is a good B movie. Like
it's totally a B movie because like it has pieces of competence in it. It's strong enough as far as the ideas that they're trying to convey. There's some thought behind it. There's some level of heart behind it. No one's completely lost as far as the acting goes. There's just some bad acting in it. It's one of those things like here's the middle road. Here's the issues in between the film. And like I don't have a lot to pick out as far as the plot goes, and but like there's a lot of like shaping and work that has to happen in order to improve this movie.
Yeah, if we were to like improve this movie, like the casting for itself isn't bad. It could probably use
the casting's fine.
Like probably like one or two more takes on some shots to try and get a little bit more emotion in some of the shots because some of the shots are just. I'm here and I'm telling you how I'm doing things.
Yeah, it's not great. It's one of those situations like as far as the look of the characters go, everyone's appropriately casted.
Yeah,
except for Mercenary Dude. Yeah,
and well, I'll say there was one thing that kind of stood out to me in this movie. Like the main character looks like he's perpetually on a green screen.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
I don't either.
Because I know that they're using practical backgrounds.
Yeah, like...
I wonder if there's, like, a couple of reshoots that we just didn't care to, like, think about really hard. But, like, for the most part, like, it looks like everything is shot appropriately as far as that goes.
With the exception of him, who looks...
he
looks out of place.
He looks out
every
of
shot.
Every place and out of shot. Oh, speaking of things that are out of place and out of shot, this is my last little critical note here. That I've got. How much time do you want to see people driving cars in the desert, Cory?
35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
That just personally, that's just the minimum of what I want to see. Like
I want to see a full hour.
Full hour, maybe even 2 hours of driving in deserts is my minimum now.
All the driving in deserts.
Minimum.
All the driving in deserts. Yeah, no, I'm surprised we didn't jump on talking about that earlier because it sucked up so much film time that
the movie's 89 minutes.
89 minutes. A good 20 minutes could have been taken out of this film for just driving, Herbie through the desert. Yeah, that's a big editing note there. Yeah. As far as that goes.
At the same time, they needed to fill the runtime because again, it's 89 minutes. It hasn't even hit that hour and a half mark.
I understand,
but there's a lot of shots of just driving in deserts.
Yeah, this thing could be easily narrowed down to 80 or 70 minutes.
Yeah,
because just because you need filler does not mean you should use filler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's overall, that's kind of like one of my beefs with the film. It's
my biggest beef with the film, using papyrus font for the opening credits.
The only thing I have to say about that is it's not really the papyrus that drives me nuts. It's the gold on gold.
Yeah. That also doesn't help.
That doesn't help the situation at all.
It's just a little minor thing that I'm just like... This is that was one of those moments that when we watched the first 5 minutes we were like, oh, this is gonna be incompetent in the good way. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And as we watched it became more competent, but at the same time it doesn't get better.
You know what I wish that also this movie had? some music. Because, like, you had the music in the beginning, and then there was no atmospheric music throughout the entire thing.
You're right. Well, I'm sure there is music, but I didn't.
Nothing was important about it. So, like, I never.
It's
kind
of like a Martha score where you can't pick anything out.
What I need in this is just like some Pirates of the Caribbean. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, no, that's what it needs. It needs like some. It needs some more adventure put into it.
It did because this is like more of an adventure movie than a horror movie because it's the same plot as Pirates of the Caribbean where it's skeletons are coming after a gold coin.
Yep. That's part of, yeah.
Except it's in the desert instead of in the sea.
Yep, that's part of the problem. It would be a really, like, there's a lot of things that can be done to improve this movie.
This is a bad Indiana Jones of the Caribbean.
Bad Indiana Jones of the Caribbean
In the desert.
Backwards Pride. All right, Cory, what's our next movie?
Green Room. Maybe.
Okay. Did you bring it with you?
No. So, let's pick a different movie. Okay, so Les Miserables, scariest movie of a couple of years ago.
I mean, there's Russell Crowe singing. That's scary.
Not scary enough. Okay, the game plan with The Rock. It even credits him as The Rock. This is that early. No? Okay. Princess Diaries 2.
Oh, God.
Princess Diaries 2?
I don't know. You got it?
Grease 2. We're gonna bowl tonight.
Cory, I don't own any horror movies. I hate horror movies. We're going to have to go back to your house.
We have to go back.
We have to go back.